Hi guys, welcome to the latest episode of this Unbelievable Life. I have back with me Clint Bender from Fairway. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the market's a little crazy right now and it's what we would call regulating itself, but interest rates went super high and now they're actually starting to lower gradually, which is an exciting time and I'm super excited. And one of the things that I like to talk about is marrying the house, date the rate. So Clint is going to talk about some of the latest things going on in the rate world. But I want to kind of start this out and talk about why this is actually a really good time for buyers. Right now, we are kind of in this winter holiday season, and there's a not as competitive as a market because a lot of people have holiday on the brain. And we're going to kind of have that slower season right now, kind of leading into January, but usually the start of the year is when things start to uptick. So if you are thinking about buying, make those plans, get ready because you don't want to miss out on something because you waited so long and the rates went low and then all of a sudden you're competing with tons and tons of people. That is what we don't want. So it's about making smart decisions now and marrying the house, date the rate, or find one of these wonderful programs that's going to fit for you, your budget, and like I said, don't miss out because once rates get to a certain threshold, you are going to have so many more buyers pouring into the market. So Clint, I'm gonna let you take it away because we're going to talk about the advantages of what's going on right now and the programs that you have to offer. So fill us in.
Definitely. Thanks, Nikki, for having me again. Basically, in the last 30 to 45 days, interest rates have went down over about 1%, which is, I mean, they're still high from what they have been before, but they're still getting more competitive as the days go by. We don't think this is a fluke. We think it's going to continue to go down. And with that, you're going to be able to qualify for more house, or monthly payments are going to be even less. To marry that with something else is we have several different programs that a lot of people may not even think about when they're looking to purchase a home. And right now, with it being in the dead of winter, it is a good time to buy a house. The first program that we have is called the Buy and Save. We just got this offered to us within the last couple weeks, actually, and it's where the seller can pay for up to 3 months mortgage payments for a buyer if they're looking to purchase a home, which is good because they can offer this if let's say a renter cannot get out of their lease. Let's say it's 3 months before they can get out of their lease. Well, they're not going to want to make a mortgage payment and a rent payment at the same time. The seller can offer, hey, I can pay that for you up to 3 months. So that's something that they can offer in their listing. That's something that they can offer a buyer that might be a little gun shy to purchase. And because we always get the, hey, I want to wait till spring, that's when my lease is up, or wait till summer. Well, you might be able to buy a little bit earlier by utilizing this program. It's also good if on the selling side, if you're a home seller and you can't get out of your home for 30 days after closing. We get to complain a lot of buyers saying, well, I've got to make my first mortgage payment before I'm even in the house, so that they can actually offer this, if kind of combat that and maybe be able to seal a deal on that. So
And,
that's one of the programs that we have.
and just to interject, the interesting part about that is
Mhm.
sellers should not be afraid about offering that because we can just, I don't want to say cushion it into the price, but we can cushion it slightly if it's something we're even considering, we can look at those numbers. And when we throw the price out to begin with, we can look at that. And it's not like, it's not like a seller is going to get this offer and they have to whip out a checkbook and write this. This all comes out of the net proceeds that the title company figures out, pays off for you. You don't even see that money. It just comes off the top and you don't even have to mess with it. So it's not like you're whipping out some checkbook and writing some big check that, for $6,000 when you've only got 1,000 in your account right now. No, no, no. This is, at the end of the deal when they're working those net proceeds, and the title company, shout out to all our title companies, but the title company is who would work this out for you.
Yep, definitely. And as long as the seller, it doesn't, there's a limit on what the seller can pay for buyer's closing costs, seller concessions, which is, closing cost prepaids. This would actually be included in with that calculation. So, and it varies on loan products. So we'd have to get with you to see exactly which the client the buyer would actually qualify for. But yeah, as long as it fits within the seller proceeds, we can do this on any loan type as well. So
Okay, so that's
that's a
that's
really
the
good program.
interesting thing to bear in mind is those seller proceeds. Now remind me, with each loan type, what percentage can people be asking for assistance on their closing costs?
Yep. On conventional loans, it's typically 3%, but you can go up to 6%. It depends on the down payment.
Yeah.
FHA and USDA loans, those are 6% of the purchase price. And then VA is typically 4%, but there's a little bit of different rules with VA. But 4% on a VA is typically how it's set up. So when when Nikki's working up a purchase contract for a buyer or a seller, that's something that always gets taken consideration at the beginning, so you know exactly how much you have to play with there. So if you need to offer that as a seller, or if a buyer, if you need those first three payments taken care of, that's something that could be worked out on the numbers up front. So
Well,
just like
and one of the things that we do is, just because somebody can ask up to 6% for these closing costs, I typically try not to max that out because I don't want a seller to have sticker shock. So usually, and this is something you and I do very well, we fine tune that number. So, they may be eligible for up to 9 grand per se, but we only ask for 5,500 to 6,000 because that's really all they need. In this situation and in those situations, we would have had a little bit of cushion what we could
yeah.
ask for, and a seller might be willing to go up that high if
Mhm.
it's the make or break of selling of this house.
Definitely, definitely. And that's a product we just started offering in the last couple weeks, which we think it'll definitely pay off here upcoming. Another one that we have are temporary buy downs. I mean, some places are offering this as a new, like it just came out. We've been offering this for about a year and a half, actually, and I think we did a podcast about this
I was
a while
gonna
back on
say
it.
that, yeah.
And we can do this on any loan type, conventional FA or government backed loans. There's three different types that we have. Is a 3-year, 2-year, and a 1-year buy down. Of course, it gets more expensive for the seller or the buyer the longer the buy down goes for. But typically, the one that we do the most is a 2-1 buy down, is what it's called. And what that is the difference in what the payment would be the first year is 2% of. So let's say if a rate's 7%, they would actually pay 5% the first year. And then where the 1 comes in is the second year they would pay 1% lower than what the actual rate was. And then after the 24th month, which is 2 years, they would make the regular monthly payment on that. The reason why this is a big it's a big advantage for buyers and sellers is you can get into that home, have the lower payment. The goal is to refinance, or if you were to sell within the first 2 years, it's a good product to do at that point because you can keep the payment low. When rates lower, you can actually refinance into that lower rate. It is a fixed rate loan. You're just buying the payment down the first 2 years, basically. We can do a 3-year. That one's a little bit tougher. We've done a couple of those, and you actually do a 1-year as well. But most of the time, with the way rates are right now, people are doing a 2-1 temporary buy down. And as a seller can offer that to a buyer up front, just to stop the sticker shock from the purchase from what it is on the market rate, basically. Luckily, we're getting a little bit lower rates now, so we're not seeing that as much, but still it's a good product to take a look at to keep the
Well,
rates
and
down
and
as
that's
well.
the thing, like a lot of lenders are talking about, like, it's a new thing. You and I have been talking about this for at least a year or
Yeah.
so. We have a whole podcast on it. So it's nothing
Mhm.
new, but it
No.
is one of those options that are out there that at least should be up for discussion.
Definitely, definitely. And another one that we have, this is mainly for sellers, but it's also for buyers. If you see builders offer, below market interest rates, we're able to actually do that. We can do that partner with builders to offer that as well, but we can also do that with property sellers to kind of compete with the new construction. Where a seller can, they can, before they list a property, we call it lock it and list it, is the program is what we call it. But basically, you could offer a below market interest fixed rate to a client They can permanently buy down the rate before they list the property for a client for a certain period of time. And then they bring a buyer in that qualifies for this program. It's basically the seller paying for that up front. But if it's a property where they really, it's one where there could be, it might take a little bit a while to sell, or it might be a unique property. It's a good option for that, especially on the higher end properties that the payment's going to be a little bit higher, or if it's one where you're going to get a first time home buyer where it's just going to be really tight on the payment. They can offer this. It's kind of like a temporary buy down. The only difference is it's not a 2 year, 1 year, or anything like that. They're buying it down from the beginning is how that is set up. So that is something we're doing that on every loan product we offer as well, government and conventional. It's a good one as well. It's mainly for sellers, but if there's a buyer that just may not be able to swing the higher payment right now, they could the seller could offer that. A good program for sellers that we're starting to do. We see it with a lot of builders, but we're able to do that with builders or just regular property sellers as well.
Good.
And then the last one, we did a webinar on this one also, is our cash guarantee. We expect it's going to get a little bit more. It's going to get busier as getting into the new year. You see the uptick in listings with buyers coming out, especially with the rates lowering. We're going to have a lot more buyers. So if a buyer thinks, hey, I'm going to wait till rates come down, that's great on that end of it, but you're going to have so much more competition. There's going to be a lot of people out for the same house. You're going to see over asking. You're going to see a lot of offers over asking price again, which is you're going to pay more for the house. Rates may be lower, but you're going to pay more for the house. So how we combat that is we have our cash guarantee at Fairway, to where before you find a house, we will underwrite a file, get an approval, send it through underwriting like you're already under contract on a house. We get the approval, we get everything we need up front. Takes about a week or two up front to get done. But if you're just starting the process, we go through this process, we get the full approval. Our company, what we can offer the seller is basically saying, the financing is not going to fall through on this transaction. If for some reason the buyer was not able to obtain this home due to the financing reasons, my company Fairway will actually purchase the home as a backup offer to the seller. So the seller knows this transaction is going to close. If this buyer loses their job, anything like that, we would still buy the house because we are basically guaranteeing that the funds will be there. That there's no reason for them to think that it would fall through. We've won a couple. I've personally won a couple transactions this year because of that, and it was because of the cash guarantee. I was told that the cash guarantee was the reason why the seller accepted the offer, and we were able to get it done. Plus, since it's already through underwriting, there's pretty much all we need is an appraisal of the home, the title work from local title company, and then homeowners insurance, just a declarations page from that, and we can close at that point. So we can get those done quicker as well. So it's a good selling point for if you're a buyer that you're looking to, you may not have a home, you've got a price range that you're looking in. It's good to get that cash guarantee, that our Fairway Advantage pre-approval completed, and we can offer the cash guarantee that basically is an addendum to the purchase contract that's submitted with the offer, and help put the buyers in a lot better position. And with the way rates are going down now, that's a perfect opportunity because we know how competitive it's going to be in the spring season this year in 24.
I have a feeling it's going to get hot this spring
Yeah,
season.
definitely.
And the thing is that home prices are not going to go down. They're just going to keep trending up. And as you wait and wait and wait, these home prices just keep going up. So programs like this, are very helpful in order to, like I said, marry the house, date the rate. And I'm very much looking forward to our 2024 season for as much real estate as I transacted in 2023. I'm expecting even more in 2024, which is exciting.
Definitely. And we're gearing up for that as well. Should be the refinance market in 2023 is pretty much non-existent. We're expecting that to ramp up as well. So it should be a busy year in real estate in 2024. And if you're looking to buy or sell, it's good to get all your ducks in a row up front. And if you have that, then it's going to put you in a lot better position than if you were to just try to not plan and just kind of wing it, and because it's just right now in this market, it's the perfect time to get that done.
And this is kind of the message I've been sending out to all of my buyer clients. You know, whether you're looking to buy next week, next month, or next year, it's important to have like the consultations with me and then to get this underwriting process done in advance, that you've got that letter in hand. These are the steps that are going to make you competitive. Is if you have had your consult with a realtor like me, you have got your pre-approval and your pre-qualification stuff all in line. And I just can't stress how much I love that cash guarantee program. It takes a little bit of extra time and effort, but if you are at the front end of this, or if you are at the early stages, this sounds like the perfect program for people.
Definitely. And and the listing agents, when they see that, they can't believe that we're able to offer that. And it's just, something that we're able to do. And nationwide, I don't even think we've had to purchase any houses, because everything, we've but like I said, we stand by it if something like that were ever to happen. But we feel pretty confident when we get a client, it's been underwritten, that we can close the transaction. So
Well, and it's
that's why we're
it's
able to offer it, and it's just a very good program, and just puts your little bit leg up on the competition.
it's essentially an early vetting process. I've had transactions, I think two fall through because the lenders didn't do their homework on the front end.
Yeah,
And something popped up in that final underwriting that should have been caught early on. And as that, I had the seller on both sides, and it was devastating to us. So for
yeah,
peace of mind to be, for an agent to be able to give a seller peace of mind and their agent peace of mind, like that's what this program speaks to me for.
definitely.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much. This is great information. We are getting fired up for an exciting 2024. I want to thank you for being on today. Can't wait to have you back. And I want to thank everybody for listening today. And we can't wait to see you on the next time for this Unbelievable Life.